And we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome along to the second part of the 72-hour live stream. Just had Steve and the Aussies over there who did the first 3-hour section. This is the next little one. So hope everyone out there is going well on this it's morning in the UK, but in obviously in the other side of the world, we've got it being nighttime there, Friday evening, and everything like that. So just along for a couple hours. Have some people in talking about Lego and all those sorts of things, and we'll just start off. And I've got a fellow Kiwi who's in here as well, and just seen Brett's Builds has popped in. Hey Brett, good to see you along. I think we saw Matthew Builds Bricks, and also I'm off by the Jeremy, I think was another person who's in already. So great to see you along. And yeah, so somebody who we've just been able to connect with recently. Came through London Bridge Bricks, which is always a good stream, is Brickscene from New Zealand. How are you going, Brickscene?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me on. How's things going with yourself?
Yeah, it's going quite well. So I haven't done this stream. I used to do this slot pretty regularly, but I think the drawing stream I used to do on a Saturday night sort of taken over a little bit. So between doing the streams, I've kind of dropped off this one, but I'd signed up for the 72 hours, so it's always good to be able to catch people on the other side of the globe when it's a more friendly time. Although saying that, I mean, it's really late where you are, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just gone midnight, man. Just gone midnight. But hey, no, it's good. It's good. Let's get up and do some streaming. You know, I've got absolutely no problems with that at all. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's because I suppose the other things too is that like you did a stream the other day of the Ghostbusters set, and because your store hours open first, you guys basically get it first in the world. So by the time you've built it and streamed it, everyone's waking up.
Yeah, I usually get a jump on the Aussies by a couple of hours, but yeah, you know, that was good. Straight out to the store, grab it, get it home. Get it open, start streaming, start building. It was actually a good day. It took all day to do it as well. It was, you know, a good 5.5 hours, I think, the stream, and the stream was nearly 6 hours, but yeah, it would have taken a good 5.5 hours to build. So it was a long day. Certainly, yeah. A long day. Probably off doing the review for a couple of days, which which I should have done straight away as well. But hey, such is life.
Yeah, no, I was dropping in and out of that stream, and it was pretty cool. And yeah, like what you say, it takes a fair while to get through, and I don't think until you've hosted and you start trying to build sets at the same time, you start going, actually, no, that you can't really do it and focus properly.
And it's different as well if you have people on, you know, like it's because, you know, if you're doing it by yourself and you're just watching, you know, the chat and building and doing that, that's one thing. But if your concentration is diverted by someone that you've brought in or something and you're building, you take your eyes off something somewhere along the lines, you know, so you're either making a mistake, forgetting about the chat, or not being a very good conversation. That's how I'm finding it anyway. I find it's early days for me, this whole streaming thing. So yeah.
It's good fun. No, it's when I first started, you know, watching live streams and participating in things like that, I used to give the hosts and things a bit of a hard time about not building anything or getting very little done. And then the first time I did it, so like, actually, this is really hard. I should stop doing that.
Yeah. Because it just takes you completely away from the conversation sometimes, especially if you're just like looking for a piece that's left you a bit sort of bewildered for a minute. Yeah, you just get sidetracked, you know, and you completely forget about what's going on. But I've done, you know, I did a few live streams back in the beginning of the year where we used to sort of do a news type sort of live stream, and that was good because I had someone with me, and you know, we could bounce off, both of us looking at the comments as well, so we sort of kept each other going. But yeah, it's a different kettle of fish when you're doing it by yourself, isn't it? You know?
It's certainly that way, and I'm always amazed at. I think one of the most freakiest ones I saw was Cafe Con. She was doing like the Bacardi Technic build, hosting it by herself at the same time, and it's just like I couldn't think of anything difficult.
That's like setting yourself up for some sort of punishment. That is,
yeah. It was hard enough. Like there was a few streams ago with London Bridge Bricks. Funnily enough, he's saying hello.
There he is. There you go, Greg.
Yeah, I was building one of the large Technic cranes on that, and even when I got to the point where I knew that something wasn't quite right, and I didn't even have to focus on the actual chat and everything. And the idea of even just doing a technique at the same time as hosting, I don't know how people can do it.
Oh yeah, I watched you do that, Cran. How you managed to just persevere when you had that feeling that something wasn't right, I built that, like you mentioned that Bugatti. There it is there. When I built that, I just built it and then finished it and put it down, and it didn't work because I put one of the diffs in the wrong way. So it just ground to a halt as soon as I put it down. I was like, and that was right at the beginning of the build. It's the worst thing about Technic. It is so bad. So I very rarely do Technic builds, I must say, for that reason.
Yeah, it is. Like what you say, it's just that sinking feeling at that point in time. You're like, oh no, there's something wrong. It's like, it's going to be a display piece. Do I just skip over it and pretend? And then...
Yeah, the end result may decide whether it's going to be a play or a display piece,
But then in the back of your head, you're just like, but I'll know that it's not quite right. Yeah,
well, I'll be able to fix it. I'll be able to get in there and fix it, It shouldn't be too hard to get in there, but those things are put together, they're like concrete when they're, some of those chassis, you just can't get into them.
Yeah, no, it's literally, and it's not like when you're doing the brick build sort of stuff where you can kind of like take apart a whole section, just put it off to the side very carefully, and no later you can just pull it back and just put it straight back on. It's like, no, you are ripping the guts out of everything.
Yeah, the taking apart the Technic is sometimes the easiest part. Yeah, and it's the lining everything up, because chances are you pulled something out that then it's fallen or something, as you're pulling it out. But yeah. No, it's I enjoy Technic stuff, but I'm very picky about them because I do get sidetracked in it. It's just the way I am, unfortunately. So
yeah, because you've got kids as well, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a couple of little. One's 4, one's 7, and it was the 7-year-old that was my ticket to getting back into Lego. As soon as I was buying sets for him, I was like, right, I can sneak a few sets into the house. Yeah, we've gone well beyond that now. There's no chance of sneaking anything in. But yeah, that's how I got back into it, was because of my little boy.
Yeah. And do you also then find that you try to sneak a set in, and then your little one is sent off to mummy? It's sort of like, hey, Daddy just got a new one. It looks great.
Every single time, and he looks at me with that face as well. I've just got you in trouble, He knows.
Yeah. I even tried the little, for anyone out there, this is not the joys of parenting that you should be paying attention to. But you try to sneak something in, and then the little one sees you there, and you're like, yeah. Look, don't say anything to mummy. As soon as you say that, first thing, gone off. So it can be a little bit like that. So and a good day to Legoland Ballarat. Okay, the thing that you'll notice is I'm not great with the words, so you have to forgive me with that. Great to see you in. Thanks for stopping on by. And also too, we just had somebody else pop in. The man with the van. He used to build everywhere and anywhere. Mr. Solid Brick Builder, how you going?
Hello! I hope you can hear me okay. The signal in the area is a bit mad at the moment.
Sounds like he's out in his van at the moment.
He usually is in there. It's yep, there it is in the van there. Have you got your Alexa in?
Oh, perfect. Dressed for the occasion as well. Good stuff.
The key question: do you have your Alexa in there?
No, it's off.
Because occasionally Solid's popped into the stream or whatever, and he has an Alexa in the van, so we'll just randomly be talking about it, and then play some random music or something and really mess around with it. But
yeah, that was interesting.
Taking Alexa with you, that's not a bad way to play the game.
So whereabouts are you joining us from today, Solo, apart from the van? Where are you putting some miles in?
At the moment, I'm in Basingstoke. So I've done an all night last night from Manchester to Basingstoke today. So that was a very boring night drive. Let me tell you. But Yeah, down here, then going down to the south coast, go down to Southampton, and then hopefully home.
Is that where you're based? Are you based in Manchester?
Sorry?
Are you based in Manchester, are you?
No. Definitely not.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I wouldn't be either.
So,
No, I can't stand Manchester. Sorry if anyone lives in Manchester, can't stand the place.
you just hold that thought for a second. I thought I had really bad jokes and one-liners, but this person takes the cake, and great to see sometimes what they come up with. And we'll bring in Cabbage Face Lego. How you going?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Oh, God.
Oh, God. That's always nice, isn't it?
How's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry I'm a bit late, but I'm good.
Yeah, no, that's cool. It's weird. Are you still in the same room, or am I just?
I'm going to say, look at that room.
Daylight?
I know.
It's so weird seeing it in
there's
daylight.
light, you know? It's usually so dark in it because I only got the one light. So it's usually so dark in it.
Yeah.
You're like a whole new different person.
I know, right? It's crazy, isn't it?
So,
It's crazy.
yeah, and just while we got it, we got somebody else joining us from the States. Who always I always remember when I was first getting into StreamYard, I jumped on and said, like, I just need help to try to figure out something. And this person helped me out, and it actually turned out that I left the video stream up, and it's quite a popular one. So even though it's just us going, how does this button work? I always think of using, always likes building his Harry Potter, the big castle. Welcome along the Daily Brick. How you going, Lex?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Yeah, good.
Hey, good, man. Good.
So, what you finished that the castle off a while ago now, didn't you, Lex?
Yeah, I did. It's been hard to find the space to display it, so I built a new desk for it. But it's a great set. I really like it. It's my desk is kind of a mess. I've got a lot of projects going on. Like right here is my Parisian restaurant that I want to start working on soon. I got the. I also have the Taskmaster's Ambush to build at some point. I might be building that in the 72-hour stream, so we'll see how that goes. What are you guys up to right now?
I'm just still.
Working.
I keep changing this interface in the StreamYard, so sorry if I'm bumping the wrong button or something there, but yeah, it's the sort of thing that I'm just coming on. I usually these days, if I'm hosting, don't even attempt to build anything. So we'll start off with Brixine. What are you looking at?
I'm carrying on with Diagon Alley.
Nice. That's a wonderful set.
Yeah, well, I've recently started collecting the Harry Potter stuff. I've had the castle for a little while, which I need to rebuild. But yeah, we're up to bag 7, so onto the second set of shops, if you like. The second book out of 4. But yeah, it looks open epic. So in the detail in the other one, hold on a second. Detail. If you haven't seen it. The detail in that is absolutely phenomenal. It would be great to actually turn it into a full modular.
Is that a project that you want to do?
Nah, I'm not a very good mock builder, but yeah, I'm loving it.
That'd make a nice pub, that would.
That's exactly it. Perfect sort of, corner pub or something like that. Some good ideas and some good techniques and some good colors, good pieces and certain colors as well. So I like it.
Oh, excuse me. And yeah, we had a question pop up a little bit before. I think it was probably from Greg? Solo, are you going to be in all the streams this time as well?
Go on, let's see if I got it.
Be rude enough to me.
Let's give it a go. Hey, if people invite me, I'll jump on.
There you go. You just put yourself into trouble there over a whole bunch of people. Let's see how tired he can get on our stream and go delirious.
Well, I'm not hosting one here, so this time anyway. So, hey, I'll get on up. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. And Cabbage, what are you going to be building, or are you just hanging out?
Unfortunately, I can't build when I'm on my PC because I don't have a big enough desk in front of it, which is something I need to sort out. I can't build any Lego. I'll quickly show you what my space is like.
Excuses.
Because literally like that, look.
Oh wow!
You know, I can't really build on that.
You got all that lap room there. What are you talking about?
And I've got all that to the side of me, so I can't really build anything, you know, which is a bit annoying. But I'll sort that out one day.
Like a microfighter or something.
Yeah, I built that little Ninjago car the other day on Greg's stream whilst he was streaming. We were on there, but I could do a speed champion set, I suppose. I might knock one together.
Go through with one of those. Yeah. It's I always remember Solo having his brainwave of an idea. What was it, 3 or 4 months ago? And he was doing a speed champion every day. And would you get to about 5 before you stopped?
Absolutely not doing that ever again.
What was that? What was
the technique set?
So, and next, what are you sort of got lined up there, or what are you going to be building?
I don't know if I'm going to be building. I found that when I build, I just don't talk as much, which isn't something I like because I feel like I didn't talk much during the stream. So I don't know how I feel about building during streams now, but I might start sorting because I have a lot of pieces that I've got to put in this organizer right here.
To get that through. Yeah. Sorry, just 1 second. Pull that up there.
Right there, and I've got like 2 bags of pieces that I've got to put in there. So we'll see how that goes. I might start working on that, but it might be kind of noisy, so I might save that for another time.
Another time as well. Yeah. That's sometimes like when you get on streams with about 9 or 10 people as well, because then there's less pressure to be talking, and so you can just actually get on and do something. Did you leave your mic on?
Did I? Oh, sorry.
That just kind of came out of nowhere, Mom.
Who was that when we were on was it Solo stream and had like the phone ring going off or something at the most?
That was Louis, wasn't it? It was kept vibrating. And it was sounding dodgy, wasn't it?
That was a bit of a hilarious sort of thing to be, and the timing of it. That Solo stream was quite an interesting one.
Well, what do you think I should knock together then whilst I'm streaming? This +4 one, which about my age group, or that one, McLaren?
Oh, the Senate's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I might do that one.
Cool.
I'll knock that together. It won't take 2 seconds, will it?
What do you think of that? What do you think of that Technic one? The Technic Center. Is it a Center?
Yeah, that looks quite nice.
Anyway, yeah.
It's a good price anyway, if it's rumoured to be what it is.
It's one of those smaller ones, though, isn't it? That'll probably fit in the back of that transporter or something. Yeah, it's not too bad looking.
$49.99 or something, I think.
Something like that. Okay.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. Well, if we, it looks like it's, for the price or whatever, it could be quite a cool little Technic set. Although I've seen some other AFOLs are completely ripped into it. It's like, oh no, that should be the next supercar or something. I mean, what do we think?
They got a Ferrari coming out, so they won't be doing that.
Yeah, I thought when they teased it, I thought, that's going to be the next big one, the next massive one. But I'm kind of glad it's not.
Allegedly, it's a Ferrari, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I've heard, yeah.
God, the
that seems to be the rumor, the Ferrari, because, I mean, it's not like Lego's never done a Ferrari before.
Do you want a bit of origami? Look at that.
Jesus, man. And them will just never sit flat on your table now. That's just going to be
like this.
Aim to work.
At least the stickers made it. I mean, they're relatively flat, but
most cars rely so much on stickers as well. Better get those right.
Right, I'm going to mute. Hold on.
Okay, and then we've had Matt, Laurel. Great to see you in the stream. First time along. I haven't seen you before. Wanted to get the Star Wars San Diego Comic-Con sets, but hard to get into Australia. Is that the Wonder Woman and the, what is it, Bespin?
That was for Star Wars Celebration. The one that was for Comic Con was the Nebulon B frigate, which was like yeah. And I ordered that set, and then I ordered it like 8 minutes after it released, and then the next day I got an email from Lego saying, "Oh, well, it's sold out, so it's out of stock, so we'll send you one in 60 days." And then I got another email saying it's canceled. You're not getting one. Which I'm like, shouldn't I be one of the people that's receiving it? I'm part of the people that contributed to it being sold out. So that was unfortunate, but I might call customer support because I know some people who, got VIP points and stuff like that for their inconvenience. So might as well go for that.
Give it a try, yeah. And Lego Ballarat, that Solo has sent the cat under the bed in Australia. So Solo, you're freaking out cats in foreign countries too, not just insulting them. Yeah, the other things in there. Okay, yeah, and all right, yeah, cool.
So tell me about these 72-hour streams. I want to know what the deal is with these. I've obviously only heard about it in the last couple of days, and then got invited on to do one. Tell me what the deal is.
Basically, from my understanding, I'm sure people in the chat or whoever will correct me. It's the 72-hour one. Originally, it started out, I think, as a 24-hour one a couple of years ago, and then expanded out to 48 hours, and then 72 hours. And then earlier, you had in the year, was it May or June? You had the 72-hour stream, and it's just a way where everyone for a weekend or whatever can get together and then just sort of, because they roll continuously and there's a master list, you can sort of start connecting with other people within the Lego community. So certainly being at this sort of time, there's been a whole bunch of people who, Steve Reynolds, who's one of the Aussies who was on before us, he's able to say, look, the one after me is Matt's Family Bricks, go over check it out, sort of thing. And people can sort of, get in and have a bit of see what other people are up to. And because, particularly now, it's good with the UK's in lockdown again, and I think Australia is coming in or going out, or depending on what it is. And I think usually it was only done once a year, but then I think somebody else wants to do a winter one, and so here we are doing this, and it's just a way to see what other people are up to and jump on other people's streams that you might not necessarily cover and those sorts of things. I think anybody else want to add anything to that?
That's about right, isn't it? Yeah, it's just
That's right, covered it.
Yeah. I've never had a slot before, and I get one this year, which is nice. That being said, I've only been doing this Lego community stuff since like March, so I've only had one other opportunity, but I'm looking forward to it.
All right, cool, man. Cool.
Yeah, because we'll be here for about 2 hours, and then I was trying to see who was on after me, because it was the one sort of thing where usually I'm terrible with putting out my my promos, or not promos, but setting up the placeholders on YouTube and things for the live streams is literally usually like the hour before or whatever. So I made a point to do this one a week in advance. And then it wasn't until I think 2 or 3 days ago they then sent out the rest of the list and the thumbnails and everything for it. So I must update it. But after me, it looks like we have 3 or 4 productions. They've got a spot for an hour, and then after that you've got CC Cafe Corner for 2 hours, Beyond the Brick for an hour, Brick Bunnies for an hour, Maniac for Bricks for 2, and so it goes. I'll try to update my description after this so you can sort of see what's happening with that. So yeah, lots of different people just doing different things.
Nice. I'm liking it.
Yeah, so it's just
a long day.
A good one. And then if you're, I think last time you then had Doc Sampson, who went and sort of did a 3-part summary video, and each one of the parts of the summaries was, I think, about an hour. So he went back through pretty much all the different 72 hours and picking out some of the highlights and things.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
So that was quite funny to watch. I don't know whether he's doing it this time, but yeah, there's occasionally some people with some the humorous jokes and things like that as well. So And the disclaimer, which I didn't put out earlier, I do try to keep these streams PG and family friendly. So if we just make sure we can moderate ourselves, certainly watching
What am I doing here then? Oh, I'm out of it.
I'll behave
Cabbage,
myself.
you make
as
a
well.
run for it as well.
That's right. I was going to say.
Yeah, I was watching Steve's earlier, and he was depending upon the type of hour, his streams can go one of two ways, and you could sort of see how he's struggling at points to try to keep it in one direction. So
I suppose if it'd be a different time there as well, it's difficult, isn't it?
yeah,
late at night for them. Yeah, I had a nap. I decided to have a nap and then get up because I got to get up again for Greg's one in the morning.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I was at 8:30 in the morning. But yeah,
What time is it there then?
It's half past 12 in the morning.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So, it's all right, man. Any excuse not to hang out with my kids. You know, it's the weekend. I want to enjoy myself.
get wiped out during the week from work.
I've earned it. Yeah.
It's a rare day off for me. I'm normally at work, so.
Oh, I'm right in.
Oh.
Nope.
So you guys were locked down.
It's probably the worst lockdown in history. I just took the dogs to get his hair done, but I can't get my hair done. Does that make any sense whatsoever? So the dog's been groomed, but I can't get this mop sorted out. You know.
That's crazy.
It's pathetic. It really is. I don't know what no one's listening to it really. You just can't go to the pub. That's about it.
Yeah,
that's
You
it.
should have said, well, why are you doing the dog's hair?
I could have asked.
You should have
Yeah.
asked her, why are you doing the hair? Do you mind just giving it a little clip on?
They always look at me funny though when I cock my leg in there.
It sounds like you may have had a bit of practice or something. So yeah, just get down on all fours. You're fine.
I'll be 2-6.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, but in all seriously, though, the lockdown is a bit of a sham, really, isn't it?
That was right.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty much you can do anything, but just don't be social.
Yeah. So I design kitchens for a living, and so I usually do surveys around people's houses and stuff, and they've not said anything about us not going to people's houses. They're just like, you carry on as normal. And you're like, surely that's like the worst thing ever, you know?
Yeah, where we dropped the kids off, you got like a little flower shop there, and that's open. Okay,
yeah,
it's essential. I suppose it kind of is because I was talking to a real estate agent or a letting agent the other day. It's like between lockdowns, the number of people we got moving because they broke up was phenomenal.
Wow.
So that's been their main source of business. It's like, why are people moving? They spent more than 6 weeks together and decided that was enough. So, I mean, riffing off that, maybe the flowers is essential services if you, particularly the blokes and things like that. It's like, make a mistake, big a bunch of flowers.
That's right. Well, you've got the Lego flowers coming out soon, so you'll be able to remake them when you get in trouble.
Yeah. Although it could be the sort of thing, I'm not sure if you want that being a projectile back at you, though.
That's right. I don't know what this fan's all about, but it's got one.
It's
wind tunnel?
It's a wind tunnel fan, yeah.
Oh.
Because it's supposed to be the most aerodynamically stable car ever made.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Because
test
even
that
though
out.
that spoiler hangs on the back in real life, it just kind of dangles there. It's not actually fixed. It's
just
really
like a-
bizarre.
Mm.
Yeah. It's a
Cool.
really bizarre car. It's an amazing car to look at, like, it really is. That noise! Oh! Orgasming on wheels, if you like cars at it.
Yeah, I bet it sounds pretty awesome.
Oh, mate, that's amazing. It really does. I think it's got like a twin turbocharged V12 underneath that, I think. It's 6 litre, I think it is. Yeah, the car is fast as anything.
It probably weighs absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I think it weighs about as much as a Kawasaki.
Wow.
Kind of, yeah.
Is this one of the 6 wides then?
I think it's something like 0 to 60 in like 1.8 seconds or something like that.
Blimey.
Line is off the centre.
Fly along there.
That is the 6 wide build, that one, yeah.
Is it 6 wide, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's the 8 wide.
Yeah, we're getting
What do you think?
technical as well next year, aren't we?
Yeah. What do you guys think of this? Do you like the 8 wides, or do you think I should say 6 wide?
I like the 8 wide. I do.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably half the reason that they're changing up the road system, isn't it?
Yeah.
To accommodate them as well. I think. I think they look great.
I think the 8 wides look a little better, but the 6 wide just fit better with the road plates and the cars that we've been getting with modular buildings.
You're right.
Yeah, I think when I saw a couple of people do the comparison between the Ferrari 6 wide and the 8 wide, you sort of look at it and it's like, yeah, no, the 8 wides, it's one of those sorts of things, once you see it, you sort of can't go back. So I was never particularly interested in the 6 stud wides, and they brought out the 8. It's like, well, they actually look like what they're meant to, and it's a good point to sort of jump on and grab a couple of them. So
yeah, I've got the Audi was an 8 wide one, wasn't it? Yeah, it's the Audi.
Yeah.
I think they needed to make that 8 wide because of just the way it is, very boxy, isn't it?
You can get 2 people in side by side, can't you, with the 8 wide?
Yeah, but he's difficult to get in that minifig. You have to take his hat off.
Okay.
Which doesn't make much. His helmet, sorry, doesn't make much sense,
Oh, really?
But, yeah, because otherwise the lid doesn't go on top properly. But I think 8 wide, they can get more detail there,
I think the detail look good in the 8 wide.
yeah, they look better, and certainly the first time I built an 8 wide, and like what you said, the figures don't necessarily fit in there properly, or you've got to do weird things with their arms and legs, and you're sort of like, okay, so you've got more studs to play with, but you can't get them in properly.
Just trying to think, is the Simpsons cars 8 wide? The police car that comes with a cookie mat. Has anyone got that? And the Simpsons car itself?
I've got the one which came with the house, and that was only.
I think you can get me things in side by side on that one, I think, as well.
Yeah, I mean, because those sets are 2014, I think.
Yeah,
around that time. Yeah. Great set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have the Simpsons house, and that was before my brokerage.
Sorry, Lex, I've got to go, unfortunately. I've got some work though, but I'll just wash out.
Okay, well, thanks for popping in. Have a good one, and you've been able to take yourself on this stream, so you'll have to try to jump on the next one.
Carry that on now, man.
Hopefully I can get, if I can push quick enough, I'll try to right back off, but yeah, I just got to get this back. If I got any chance of getting on the one stream later on, I'll go crack on.
Whatever he's fixing today, he's not getting fixed properly.
We'll be back there next week.
I'll catch you all, yeah.
Just take it easy. See you later. Yeah, it's the sort of thing. If he does the streams like last time, yeah, certainly by the time he gets to Sunday, if he gets a call out or something to something like what you're saying, Gabbage, that might not be getting fixed properly.
These streams from his van are quite funny.
Yeah, or when he's doing the build in a van or whatever it is. So trying to take Lego wherever he can with that one. So, and Greg is asking, what am I building? I'm hosting, so I'm not silly enough to try to build anything, Greg. Crab, auto crack, something, crane. No, I think we finished off with the crane. Finally. that nightmare of one. Let's just move along, not talk about that one again.
How did that end up stopping? I didn't catch when you said what happened in the end. How did you get that stopped?
With the crane, in terms of how to fix it, or how to stop it?
No, you, because it's just spinning and spinning and spinning. Did it just eventually just stop, or?
No, I had to actually just whack my hand in there to stop it. Because the thing with it is the actual battery box and control was on the actual part that was spinning around.
Right.
So there's no sort of way to.
It just looked like it was gathering momentum the whole time. I was getting faster and faster. You better get in there quick, man. Otherwise, it's going to go sonic, and you're not going to be able to stop it.
Yeah, that was certainly one thing I won't be forgetting in a hurry. And it's funny because being on a stream, obviously got to catch that for prosperity, for better or worse.
Future highlights reel.
Yeah. And it's funny when you go back and like rewatch parts of the streams and things like that. Particularly if you're building, you think you're hearing and responding to everything, but a lot of the time there's just so much which is just going over your head, or you're not there. Well, maybe it's just me.
Oh, I've
No.
No, it's tough to build and stream, isn't it?
Oh, mate, that's like I was saying about this one I was doing last week when I was building that Ecto 1. That was just,
Yeah.
By the time I got to about the 3.5, 4 hour mark, I was ready to have a nap. But try to persevere.
Ecto one?
What's that?
Did you finish up the Ecto one?
Yeah, it took me about 5.5 hours in the end. But got it done. Got a review up as well. So I was pretty happy with that. Managed to squeeze as much out of it as I could, content-wise, for the channel.
Yeah. There's been a lot of good sets coming out recently. The problem is they're all over that $100 price range. I mean, just the past few months, we've gotten some really cool sets, like the Batwing, Diagon Alley. We got the NES, even the Crocodile Locomotive, which isn't something I'm interested in. It's a pretty cool set.
Yep, that's going to command a price.
They don't tend to give you much notice now, do they? They kind of say this is coming out, and it's like a week later. It's like, well.
I quite like that though. I don't like waiting around for stuff. So if they tell me, hey, it's a week later, then I'm like, okay, right, I've got to figure out how I'm going to get this. I've got to make it happen. All right, I got to make it happen.
It sometimes depends on what it is, because you had the second wave of Nintendo stuff announced earlier in the week and things like that, and certainly once the kids got a hold of it, they're like, oh great, we can get this for Christmas. It's like, not quite, this January 1st.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And by the time Christmas comes, will they still want it? Will it still be cool? My kids picked up that Nintendo, that Mario stuff, and played with it for about 3 seconds, put it down, never to play with it again.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, we'll not get any more of that then. Save me a pretty penny.
I also still into it. The biggest challenge we have with it is when they're not playing with it. It's like, how do you store it? Because like half of it, it's not like just a house or a modular. You sort of pick it up and put it on the shelf because it's all in the bits and pieces, and so much of it, when you pick it up, it's kind of fragile. It falls apart really easily.
Yeah.
The second wave is a bit underwhelming, to be honest.
I agree.
Even the blind bags. I mean, I got all the blind bags from the first wave, and there's only about 2 of those I really want. The Shy Guy and is it Shy Guy or Fly Guy? Fly Shy Guy? I don't know what it's called. And that's about it, really.
Yeah, I haven't picked up any of the Mario sets yet. One that I do want is the there was one that was going to be released at San Diego Comic-Con, and it's only a $20 set, so I think I'm going to pick that one up just because it's kind of a cool set, and it's interesting that it was released to people in the U.S. The other one that I want to get is that Toad. Oh no, it's the Yoshi's in Mario's house. That's a pretty cool expansion.
Is that one with the hammock?
That's the one with the hammock. Yeah. And there's the and then there's also the building looks pretty cool itself, and you get Yoshi in it, so it's a pretty cool set.
Yeah, we got that one, and it is pretty cool. You put Mario lying down in the hammock, and he starts snoring and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, you can do it with your normal sort of Mario, but he really putting in context like that is just something funky and cool to do with it.
It's a novel idea. I do wonder if it was Lego or Nintendo that wanted to do it like that, whose call it was. Because I often think that just like normal sets would have been like minifigs and stuff. I think we said this before on someone else's stream, but just a normal set would be awesome, wouldn't it?
I don't think it's going to last. I don't think it's going to last, to be honest.
I don't think so either. All these new Lego themes haven't been doing great, like Hidden Side, which I really liked, and I still haven't managed to pick one up, but I don't think we're getting more sets from that. I don't know. I think Lego's been trying to broaden what they're doing and broaden their appeal, so that's interesting, but just the Mario doesn't really... I'm not part of the audience that is really looking forward to like get that to play with or something, but I do want to get the starter kit next time I see it on sale so that I can just see what it's like.
Yep. Oh, it's worth having a look at. Yeah, it's definitely worth having a look at.
Yeah, I picked it up for £37, which is really good. So
yeah, certainly in the UK recently, it's sort of like they release new sets, and within about a week or two, they're already starting to pull the price down on them. Yeah. So it really, unless you are super keen on something or it's a direct to consumer, it's almost like, at least for the UK, you're better off not really getting it day one and just waiting for a bit.
That's what I'm doing exactly with the Colosseum. It's not a day one purchase for me, but wait until you get a decent, because that'll hang around for a while, I reckon. So I'm going to wait for that to come down on a decent sale.
If it was a month later for me, I would have got it, but it's come a little bit too soon.
Well, either that, or if they actually had a decent promo or something with it, like that chariot thing is like, what?
It's a waste of time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very bad.
Especially considering there's no exclusive pieces or anything like that, is there?
Yeah, and the minifig's not even Roman by the looks of it. I don't know what he is.
Ninjago, isn't it?
I don't know. He's like,
I heard something about it being Ninjago. I was like, hey?
He looks like a medieval knight or something. It's very strange.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no. Yeah, it's not enough to make me run out and get it straight away. Not enough.
But I think the Mario stuff, and this is where it's interesting, is like what we're saying, it's probably not so much for the market, because our kids, they kind of knew Mario beforehand, but they love it. And certainly, like when we're looking at some of the shorts and things, which have really done super well, it's all the Mario stuff.
Yeah, it's the Mario stuff.
And it's almost like there's a whole different audience there, and we just don't sort of get a really good sense of how much it's being sold to that game playing audience.
Yeah. I mean, we have the new audience of just lots of kids who want this new electronic Lego product. And then there's also just the whole, a bunch of gaming people who are like, oh, well, this is Mario.
Yeah.
And they see it as like a Mario Lego thing where we're like, oh, Lego made Mario. And they're like, oh, cool, there's a new Mario thing, but it's a Lego product. So it's really interesting.
I wonder how it... Oh, sorry, Brett.
I was going to say, people who collect Mario stuff, who don't necessarily care about Lego, they will still collect that Mario stuff. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch of collectors out there.
I wonder how it's done in Japan. That's the thing. I wonder if it kind of introduced them to Lego.
I was talking to someone about the Adidas sneakers as well, and there's a whole bunch of Lego fans that are really upset about the fact they couldn't get their hands on them. I says, you're fighting with the sneaker crowd. The guys who collect sneakers have been doing this a hell of a lot longer than Lego adult collectors. They know the game.
Yeah, there's a reason they did that release in that way, and it's not for you Lego people. Forget it.
No, they're gone. They are gone from Lego collectors' hands. They're in the sneaker collectors and that community now.
Which is, and that's the sort of thing Lego is always going after. The new shelf space, because to some weird degree they don't care so much about the AFOLs, because it's sort of like, we can release next to anything, they're going to buy it. We're interested in how can we get into a sneaker shop, how can we get other people, video games and things like that. Because much like what you guys were saying, the number of channels which some of them are like the Nintendo channels and things, which will have 1 million subscribers and stuff like that, and you'd see them, they're sort of like, they'd get these like the NES sets and things like that, and they're like, never built a Lego since we were a kid, first time doing it in 20 years, and this is awesome. Like there's
well, like don't mean to go back to the shoe collectors, but the shoe collectors wouldn't even care whether it's Lego or not. It's just another exclusive shoe. You know, they don't care that it's a Lego product. You know, the passionate Lego fans, oh, damn, you know, Shuko is like, hey, a pair of Adidas with some bright colors on it, it's going to be worth a fortune if I keep those in the box. You know, that's their attitude towards it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Totally.
Totally
One
different.
of my friends is a trainer collector, and he's got them.
Yep.
And he said they'll never see the light of day. So really,
No. Yeah.
they're just
I
being
used to pick shoes prior to this. That's why I know that crowd. And you know, we're talking about scalping as well. You know, that's a bit of a hot topic over here at the moment. And I tell you what, those guys are ruthless. That's cutthroat, that industry. Well, it's the Book of the Monster Book of Monsters. That's the one that's been causing the upset recently. It got released into the store, and the scalpers came in thick and fast. And it's already selling on our local marketplaces for like 300% markup. You know, within days.
What was that? Monsters by what is that?
That's
the Harry Potter Book of Monsters, isn't it?
Oh, okay, it's Harry Potter.
yeah, this odd little thing. It was only like 35 New Zealand dollars here. So what, 20 quid, if that, 15 quid,
Bizarre.
something like that. And it's now being sold down here for about 180 New Zealand dollars.
Wow.
So it's stupid money, stupid money. And yeah, people are paying it because they want it.
Yeah. Well, I also think this time of year, because we've just been putting a few things on eBay just to trying to clear stuff out and stuff like that. And even since lockdown, the collectible market is up, depending upon what it is, by about like 30% because people are staying home, they're not working, they're not spending, and they're just buying stuff. So we put some toys secondhand on eBay, and they went for more than new retail. And it's just like a wooden farm thing with some stuff and whatever, like, you know, so it's not like it was branded or anything like that. And it's just like, oh, wow, this is really interesting. So at least in the UK, for anyone trying to sell stuff on eBay this weekend, they've got the £1 listing fee, so you're not getting charged a percentage. So we put up last weekend, last year, remember the Christmas tree promo? Which they, you know, if you spend over a certain amount, you got a Christmas tree. So we've done that, and so I had a couple of those left over, and I put them up, and they end on like Sunday. I think one of them is already up to, I think it's like £50,
Wow.
and it's got like almost 100 watches, and it's just. So yeah, if you want to offload any of your collectibles, I think this Christmas is going to be a good time if you're going to get a good price.
And saying that though, you're right. There's a few sets that have gone for absolutely crazy prices down here. That someone listed a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff the other day. You know, collectible stuff that's worth good money, but even the prices they were fetching was just blowing me away. I'm thinking in particular, they had a drop ship ATOT. They went second hand for 1,000 New Zealand dollars, so about 500 quid. You know, it's just like, wow, stupid money, you know. But anyway.
Yeah, because even the you got the Steamboat Willie ideas set, which I ended up with it for some bizarre reason, and I don't have an interest in Disney, so I've been looking at putting that up too. Probably do that this weekend, and you know, they sold, I think, for about 80 retail here, and most of them on the secondary market are now selling for about 120.
Is that right?
That is a set I wouldn't mind getting my hands on.
It's a good set, though.
Yeah.
That was the
That's
first
one that I
review I
would
ever
get.
did.
Yeah, is that just because? I mean, what's your interest in it, Cabbage? Do you like the Disney stuff? Or?
Not Disney so much. I like ideas stuff because I do some stuff myself, don't I? So I've got quite a few of the different ideas sets, and even some of the Kuso ones. So I just generally like the ideas things. Disney, I don't mind Disney stuff. It's not kind of my go-to, but I've got stepkids and stuff, so I've watched most Disney films of them, you know. But it's an iconic, I suppose it's an iconic cartoon scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, was it the first ever one? Is that right? But yeah. But I like the ideas set, so it's quite a neat set, to be fair.
Yeah, I find the idea sets not so much hit and miss, but they're like, I don't know, sometimes you're like really into them, or other times it's sort of like, yeah, no, pass.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the globe is going to be kind of some people will like it, some people won't like it. You know, the Atlas globe that's
So will
recently
the
got selected.
That's
the
quite
typewriter.
And the typewriter, yeah, that's another one that's going to be, some people will love it, some people won't.
Like the piano. Piano's like that as well.
Yeah, piano's one on my list because I play it, so it's one of the ones I'd like to get. But yeah, I mean they are hit or miss, I must admit. But
yeah, I mean the piano. I mean, I think given the price point and everything like that, I'm just a bit disappointed with you don't have a bit more functionality with it. It's like the app and things that just feels rushed and
yeah, I
so-
agree on that extent. That it just maybe I don't know if they could have done that. If you pressed the keys, it played the notes. I'm sure they could have done it.
Yeah, because the turnaround time between when it was announced as a set, like of getting through successfully in a set, was it like it was only like 5 or 6 months. It was really tight.
Yeah, it was quite rapid. Yeah.
Well, they probably knew which set they were doing before the public knew which set they were doing, so I'm sure they gained like a few weeks in that regard.
Yeah, certainly they'd have a bit of a sense because I've certainly heard that you know as ones that are getting to 8,000-9,000, which they particularly like, if it's a license, they'll start talking with the licensee in advance. And that one wasn't a license, so it's just a matter of. And it's not like it was a massive change from it, like not like the Steamboat Willie, where it was like there was a little tiny thing and then they made it something significant, whereas the piano was already quite significant. It's just like, well,
the guy already built it, didn't he? And he took it over to Denmark and gave him his exactly the same set built without the functionality over the app. And they asked him to come over, and he flew over to Denmark and took him his set he made. And they just copied it and tweaked it slightly. I mean, that in itself is pretty impressive that someone built that.
Yeah, no, I'd seen when they're doing the promo rounds of it because I supported it. Much the same, like, I mean, obviously you got your piano in the background, we've got kids who are doing it, so, we've got that sort of interest in it. Even when he's at one of the shows, I can't remember, was it American or was it an Australian show? But anyhow, he had it there, and I thought he said it was about 5,000 pieces.
Yeah. They probably scaled it down.
Yeah, it was like 3.5, I think. Yeah,
I think when it gets submitted, they work out ways of using less bricks, don't they? How they do it. Only they know. But it's a bit like the Home Alone set that recently got. That's 5,000. That's right on the limit of how many you're allowed to have. And I don't think that'll come out with 5,000 bricks.
Oh,
I thought the limit was about 2 or 2,500, 3,000.
I'm sure it's 5. I'll double check that. Yeah. I'm sure they upped it recently.
Oh, okay. Did they up it recently? I mean,
they might have changed it when they changed the mold thing, because they can make new molds now for characters.
Yeah, that's it. Because you can make your own minifigs now.
That's exciting. Because I know there's a Winnie the Pooh set coming out, and the designer for using the pieces that existed did a really nice job of creating the characters, but it was a little all over the place because he had one brick-built character because he just couldn't make them with pieces. So now I'm more looking forward to that set, and I'm not really concerned about how it will turn out with the minifigures.
So sorry, just taking a step back for some of us who are slow, what's this about, making new molds or something? Or
you can make your own minifigs. So say if you did Monty Python or something random, you could make like the knight who says knee, you could make him on a 3D printer and submit it as a minifig in the set, rather than trying to bodge it together with existing minifigs.
Okay, so if you're doing the 3D printing, what is that just up to you to figure it out? Or
or you Photoshop it or anything like that. You can now. You used to not be able to do it. You had to make it out. You used to have to make it out of existing minifigs.
I know Lego will.
Doing this new process where you go to like lego.com and upload your minifigure design and I'll make it for you. It's like, what? Did I miss something?
You still need to be really good on the computer, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I knew that Lego was like willing to make new molds, but I didn't know that you could submit projects with pieces that aren't Lego, because like if you 3D print something.
Yeah, you can now. They changed it. They changed it very, very recently.
I wonder then if you could start getting this influx of like, Leppen pieces in Korea and things. It's like, that's not quite what we had in mind.
I think they do moderate it quite strongly, so they probably would catch anything like that.
I thought, did I see?
I think they're going to
somewhere-
change the whole platform, if I'm honest, because they sent out an email the other day asking people to submit answers to this survey, and I think they're going to change how it's done because a lot of people are getting to the 10K now.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny you mentioned that. One of my friends was actually in the same 10,000. Like he got a model to the 10,000 mark on the same run as the piano. He did I think it was the QE2, the massive boat that was on the same
Wow.
one. Anyway, he obviously didn't get it over the line. And I think that was down to licensing as well. There's some sort of licensing over boat models, and they're owned by certain obscure companies. But yeah, he's been invited to take part in some sort of review of the whole process as well, and what his feelings were like.
There's also rumours that Bricklink are going to start. They sent out a survey the other day asking what people thought if they sold the instructions for the ideas sets that didn't make it.
Ooh,
And the
I
bricks.
didn't see that.
Yeah, it was. I saw it on Instagram somewhere, and I clicked a link, and it went to it. I'll try and find it, and I'll send it to you, Daily Brick.
All right, thank you.
They're yeah. I don't know if they still give the creators a cut of the money they make or not. I don't know, but that's one rumor, which would be quite interesting to be fair.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got sets like the Ratatouille set and things like that didn't make it,
Mm-hmm. And then there's also, I know one thing that I hope gets made is the Avatar: The Last Airbender set, but I just don't see it happening given that it was a failed theme from the past, and I don't think LEGO right now would be willing to try it again, even though it has a pretty big fan base right now. I don't see it happening, but if Bricklink started selling instructions for that, I'd be totally fine with that.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting to be fair, because you could get some cool sets from them.
It would almost be like the AFOL designer program thing that happened, where Bricklink would package up some things. They printed instructions, and they had a limited run of a couple sets.
Yeah, someone says some of them end up on Rebrickable, which they do as well.
Yeah, because it's the sort of thing, having gone through, like I got a couple of ideas and things like that and reading some of the terms and conditions, and there's some ones there which, I mean, they say it's like, with if you submit anything, in the idea for like, 2 years past whatever the failed time or something like that, like there's some really funky clauses in there which obviously they're trying to protect themselves and things like that. It's sort of like, well, you haven't paid anything for it, so how that would ever stand up in court is really, really weird. There's no consideration which has happened, so it's sort of like, here, have a whole bunch of stuff for free that you don't give me anything back for. Like, what?
It works both ways, though. How many sets have been sort of submitted on ideas and then
still made?
Couple of
Yeah, and still made a couple of years later.
And then made a couple of There was one in
Crocodile.
The crocodile, you look at the
NES.
original,
The NES was on there.
That I know was done in parallel on something different, but one of the ideas ones which I set was basically that rotating movement for the NES TV. Look, I'm sure it's not completely a wholly original idea, but yeah, you certainly see that pop up, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, you've done that, now you've also done dots. It's like, well, that's kind of chopped the legs out of that ideas project which I put up to begin with. So,
well, it's like a Bonsai Trees in the last in the January review, but they're bringing one out, so that's not going to happen, is it?
That's getting buried already, isn't it?
Yeah. So that person's probably like, really, But that's the risk you take.
All right, I've got to head out. I have some classes that I've got to sign into in a few minutes here. So, thanks for having me, Matt. Nice talking with you all.
I'll send you that link.
Yeah, for sure. You can find my email. Here, I'll put it in the private chat quickly.
Cool.
Or
if you're on Instagram, I'll forward it to your Instagram.
No, I don't have. I think I have to make one soon. I just haven't taken the time to take care of that yet.
Yeah. Lex, if you want, you can give your channel a quick plug. What do you got coming up?
On Sunday morning, I have my slot of the 72-hour stream. It's actually from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Which is in UK time. So that's for me, that's 6 to 8 in the morning. So that's pretty similar to your time. Is that right, Matt?
I'm just trying to see. Yeah, so you've got 5 to 7 Central, and this was 5 to 7 Central. So yeah, this time on Sunday.
Yep. So if I see some of you guys there, I'll send over a link. So nice talking with you all. Cabbage Face, I just got to grab my email.
Yeah, no problem. I'll ping it over to you.
All right. See you guys. Have a good
See you
one.
later.
Yes,
Take
thanks,
care.
mate. Have a good one.
How far are you on Diagon Alley then?
I'm up to bag 8, so starting the upstairs on the second building. Have you built it yet?
I haven't got it.
No.
I'm not a massive Harry Potter fan, so I don't know whether I should get it or not.
I'm not either, but I'm getting into it more now that I've got it. You know,
Yeah.
My boy is really into it. He, we sort of try to make a decision to whether we're going to sort of try and pursue all the sets from the 2018 line onwards. I think that's what we're going to try and do. We've got most of them anyway, so I was like, all right, we may as well try and complete them and try and get all of them. But that means this one as well, of course.
Are you going to get the castle?
I've got the castle. I had that already just because it was a big set and I thought it looked great. I still think it looks great. But I didn't care I couldn't tell you anything about Harry Potter at the time when I built that. All these little sticker little quirks in the back. I was over my head. But I know more about it now.
Yeah, all the Easter eggs would have been a bit more lost on you.
Exactly, man. Exactly. But even then, my boy was probably a bit young when I got it. He was probably a bit young to really know what was going on with Harry Potter in a huge way. He's certainly more into it now. So, yeah. He has been building this with me, but his pace is too slow. So I said I was going to do it. But
Let Daddy show you how it's done. Look, like this.
Yeah, it's magically just a few extra bits have appeared on it overnight.
Yeah, because I think our kids are similar sort of age, and yeah, they really during the first lockdown got into Harry Potter, like in a big way. It just happened that they started releasing some of doing obviously the new sets and things like that, and there was a couple of them which went on really good discounts and things.
That's exactly it as well. Yeah.
Like even the other day, there was one that we didn't have, which was it wasn't the clock tower, it was the other one, and that had I think it was like 35% off, like as a flash deal. It's like buy.
Yeah, you can't pass those up. Eh? So I think we need what's the most recent one that's part of that? Is it the
astronomy?
We haven't got that one yet. And I'm just sort of filling in some gaps, sort of on the way back through as well, just whenever I see them. A couple of those fantastic beast sets as well. They're really nice sets. Actually. I think they're on par with the Star Wars stuff as far as play sets, the build quality and all that.
Yeah, the quality is there, and then you've also got obviously a fair variation in the minifigs, and they do the minifigs relatively well, and then just the way that you can start connecting the play sets together as well.
I think that's really cool. That's a really cool thing. The whole modular Hogwarts, each year add a piece on. They've got us hook, line, and sinker with that one. So
yeah,
so they all connect, do they? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so all of those ones from Whomping Willow, I think was the first one, wasn't it?
Right,
through to the recent one. So the Great Hall, the Clock Tower, obviously. Even that Room of
requirements.
Yeah, that little one fits in as well. Is there one more? Am I missing one? But yeah, it's now it's quite big. It's quite cool.
Yeah,
it would have been cool if it all went around in a circle, but we haven't been able to sort of make it sort of fit so that it curves around. It is all literally in just one big line. But,
I suppose then you could have your train going around it, couldn't you?
That's true.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, and then obviously the train as well.
You got the Quidditch. The Quidditch is the other one that connects to it.
Oh, okay, the little
yeah.
ball game thing. Is it ball? See that? I don't know what.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like I'm the pro here.
You're the expert on it now.
Super proud.
I really need to watch it at some point, don't I?
Well, it's like one of those things. They are really, really well made movies. So, it's one of those things. I enjoy a movie regardless of what it was, if it was well made. So, yeah,
I just found originally when the film first came out, the first one back, what was it, Philosopher's Stone? I tried to watch it, and it's sort of like, actually, this is like beat for beat the same as Star Wars, and you're just like, but then the kids recently then got into the audiobooks first, and obviously there's a lot of stuff in there which just isn't in the films. So I think now coming back to the films, you sort of appreciate it a lot more. It's like, actually, this is quite interesting. Although we've gotten to the last one, and it's like, this is a little too dark to be showing the kids at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's I've had that sort of dilemma as well. Is that it is pretty dark. Well, it gets pretty dark pretty quick, doesn't it? And he sort of got into it quite a young age when all the movies are out, so he just wants to watch the next one, and he started watching those last ones when hell on earth starts happening. To be quite honest, it's pretty heavy.
I think that's probably the only one I have seen. That's with the final battle and stuff, I assume, yeah?
That's right.
Yeah, so I think that's the only one I've seen.
We'll just start jumping again.
Yeah, just skip all the story and just go, oh, right, that's what happens. Okay.
That's what happens, yeah. I keep calling buddy Dumbledore Gandalf. He's Gandalf. I'm like, oh, sorry, wrong movie. Super upset.
It's not like it's even the same actor. It's like...
See, that's a nice film, Lord of the Rings. It's all right.
Yeah.
There's some cool Lego sets from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame that it, well, not so much a shame, but, because that was so long ago with those sets, as opposed to, if it came out today, what that'd be like.
Oh, man. That'd be so cool.
Well,
Did they ever do the big elephant thing?
Yeah.
They did, didn't they?
I think the sets look great, but I do wonder if they would have the appeal now as they did, when they were out. I don't know if the license would really, if they got the license again, whether they'd sort of move many sets. And there's the diehards out there, I suppose, but
they did some Hobbit ones, didn't they? I think. Did they do some Hobbit sets?
Even that was a while ago, wasn't it? Now?
It is now, yeah. I can't think when that was out. It was a few years back now.
Yeah, I want to almost say that was the better part of 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
Well,
This is the last time a movie was out,
Yeah, that's exactly it. I suppose you've got to have some new material to sort of back it up, don't you?
Yeah.
Although, I mean, having said that, them doing the Harry Potter stuff now, it's like, well...
That's true, actually, yeah. There's not really anything coming out for that, is there?
No, I think it's probably just that sort of thing, because you got the books to... I mean, that said, you got Lord of the Rings, but the books, obviously the source material, so...
Yeah.
Did I saw somewhere that they're doing the old Harry Potter art set, with all the little dots?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a few coming out, and some of them, one in particular is really odd. There's like a zebra. Did you hear about that one? There's Elvis.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. There's Mickey Mouse. Is it Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse?
Yep. And what was the other one?
The zebra.
And then, the zebra. And I'm like, it just seems really really left field, Oh, you imagine the other one, like the Harry Potter one, you'll have obviously 4, maybe the 4 different crests or whatever it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Elvis, you could probably have a few different pictures of Elvis. I don't know if they, whatever. I just can't see what they do with a zebra. It's just a whole bunch of black and white pieces, Like.
You can imagine that brainstorming. What should we come up with? Harry Potter, Elvis, a zebra.
Either that or they're sitting there, it's like, we've got an excess supply of black and white pieces. What can we do?
I'm pretty sure it was the zebra, yeah. I saw the list of the upcoming stuff, and I was just like, oh my God, where's that come from?
I mean, the Harry Potter crest looked quite quite good. You know, I don't know what they're for or whatever, but they look very good. You know.
But it's also the thing, the whole marketing thing. People are going to buy 4 of them because they want 4 different crests.
Yeah.
Mickey and Minnie people are going to buy 2 of them because they're going to want both of those. Elvis, the Elvis fans are Elvis fans. They're going to want as much as they can get. But a zebra? I mean, how many zebra fans are out there are going to want so many different portraits of a zebra?
Yeah. How many people from the 80s are hanging on to their zebra pant prints? There's nostalgia, but then there's not nostalgia.
It's probably going to be a bestseller now.
Unless it's maybe some sort of thing with National Geographic or something. Like
it might be, yeah, because they had the ship, didn't they?
Yeah, there might be something. I don't know.
Those other little kind of undersea exploring ones they had with National Geographic, weren't they?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They had there was a couple of those sets, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a couple of them, and it's almost like being National Geographic or whatever. It's not like they're really expensive sets for what they are. Yes, the ship is expensive, but it is a big ship. So, but it's not like the license seems to be putting onto it a huge tax as it does with Star Wars and Harry Potter and some of the other ones.
National Geographic not quite as greedy as old Disney.
Yeah, although National Geographic's now owned by Disney, isn't it?
Probably.
I think you're right. Actually, isn't it on Disney Plus? You can see National Geographic now.
Yeah.
Is there anything that's
the memo
not?
hasn't filtered down to them yet.
Yeah.
You will charge money for it because there's a great podcast. It's comic books. It's Robservations, and it was interesting because they did one recently where they were talking about Disney, obviously with Marvel and everything like that, and very much since Star Wars, it's all about the merchandising and how they've really with the Marvel and all that sort of thing. The films are great; they make a lot of money, but they make even more money off the merchandising. Where you think about it in terms of the child, the baby Yoda, it's everything. You've got any possible poshy pop Funko or whatever it is, and then you've got somebody like Warner Brothers who've had very successful with their Arrowverse TV series and things like that, but there's next to no merchandising to support it.
So that's why, in the new Star Wars franchise, they put those porgs, whatever they're called, those squeaking bird things.
Yep.
Because they can make loads of teddies and they make an irritating noise. The kids will love them.
Absolute clever move. Absolute gold move. The marketing team genius. Can you imagine the eureka moment in that marketing team when they said, a bird on the island. On the island, we'll have these little birds,
And they'll annoy Chewbacca for a bit, and then they'll be squeaky, and then kids can have the toys and annoy their parents with them.
They'll have massive black eyes. Draw you in,
But then I saw a poster for the new Obi-Wan. I don't know if it's a real poster or it's a fan-made one for the new Obi-Wan series, and he had a child in it, and I was like, really?
Oh no.
Yeah, and I was like, is this just like another?
Another, yeah. No, well,
he had a kid on a backpack on one side, and he had his lightsaber out on the other. It may be a fan-made thing, I don't know, but it looks pretty real.
Yeah, interesting.
No, it sounds like something Disney would do. Hey, this is selling well. What other 6 series can we put it in?
That's true. How can we rinse this for as much as possible? This whole,
good old Disney.
Yeah,
that'd be the sort of thing. How can we get the child into a Disney princess film?
But the whole thing with the Mandalorian and the child and how they managed to keep that under wraps, and nobody knew it, and nobody saw it coming. Nobody.
The leaks for that thing are pretty well hidden. They don't find out a lot of information about that. Disney. Right. That's one thing Disney are very good at.
Well, that was the thing, particularly with Lucasfilm. It's sort of like anybody who works on it and things like that, even extras and the non-disclosure agreements they have to sign are phenomenal. But also too, if they then find out who did it, that's it. You never work in the industry again across anything because they just
because the guy that plays Incredible Hulk was always Hulk in the new Marvel films. He's always getting himself into trouble, wasn't he, with Disney because he kept giving spoilers out accidentally.
Right.
And then they just stopped him.
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo, yeah, and they just stopped him doing press conferences. They're
Press
like,
conferences, yeah.
yeah, this is enough.
They've really struggled with Tom Holland with that too, the Spider-Man guy, because he's terrible at it. But it's sort of like, well, you're front and center in your own movie. We can't hide you away, but at the same time, so now whenever Tom Holland does like an interview, you generally see him with another cast member.
Yeah.
It's almost like, okay, you need to control him and make sure he doesn't say anything.
They're the closest thing we can get to him on that stage or in that interview room. Yeah.
It must be tough though to keep it under wraps, because I remember very many moons ago I used to do a bit of games testing for a few different people, and you had to sign NDAs then because obviously you're working on a game that's not disclosed, and it was so difficult. Your friends are like, what's going to happen here? And you're like, I can't say anything, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, if you tell one person, it's going to be Chinese whispers and it end up on the internet, and
it's going to come back and it's going to bite you badly.
And they'll work out where it come from.
Yeah. No, you don't need that. You don't need that.
No.
But I think Matt threw up an interesting one, which I mean, even when they released Diagon Alley, the obviously gaping hole in it was the Gringotts Bank. So it does make you wonder. It's like, is there going to be like the other side of the street for Diagon Alley?
I reckon that why not? I think add sort of single sets on. I don't know. I think they could. Would that upset the people who have paid the money for this particular set? Well, I'd be keen to add bits onto it.
It'd be really interesting if they did it so that it went on the other side and lined up, so you'd almost have like buildings back to back.
Well, you can do, can't you? Because they've got the little pin connectors on the back there as well.
All right.
As well as you can have them back to back.
They're definitely going to bring out another load then.
Well, they just bring out a row of the back ends of the buildings. Worst set ever.
Worst set.
Just the walls, the back walls with all the facilities, the toilets, sinks.
People would still buy it. People would still buy it.
Yeah, exactly. You Harry Potter fans are in for a treat.
We've never ever done anything like this before. It's new and exclusive.
The storeroom.
And shout out to Sai. Great to have you watching along.
Hello, Sai. Hey, Dan. I've got Brick Bunnies as well. Hello, Brick Bunnies. Didn't see them there.
Yeah, Brick Bunny's been there for a bit there.
Oh, they?
Great to have you along as well. Appreciate you stopping on by. And I think Sai's just in and out and saying hi and everything like that. And Brett is still watching along as well.
Didn't they? Haven't they done a similar thing with the Sesame Street? They left that open to be added on to. They've got kind of.
Sorry, just the way you said it. It's sort of like you look at it. It's like, yeah, I'm not quite sure they left it open to be added onto. It's more like to the price to cost ratio. It's sort of like.
How do you think? I don't know, because they've left like peg holes and stuff, haven't they?
Yeah, but they did that with what was it? The Obi-Wan's hut as well, didn't they? They had clips hanging off the back of it. And
oh, did they? I wonder what.
Yeah, that little Obi-Wan's hut. There's a couple of clips hanging off the back that go to nothing.
So there is, isn't there?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
Cunning. Maybe they just like to make us guess,
Hi, Adorabuild. I sent you, if you want to jump in, I thought I'd sent you a link. Be great to catch up, but if not, I appreciate it's getting late, and you may have just still be recovering from Steve. So, and Brick Bunnies also asking if they think it'll bring out a new version of the Gringotts later this year, or guessing next year. For mine, I'd say if they are going to do a follow-up to The Street, it would probably be in that. I don't know. Would they sell it as a single one?
I don't know. It'd be a new president, wouldn't it, to add something onto what is essentially a Harry Potter UCS set. If you want, it's a pretty big set at this price. We're adding on little bits to it. I don't know. Because then it's going to get people to want to go back and buy the Diagon Alley if they end up buying the bank as its own little set. I don't know. I'm not. I'd like to see it happen, but I can't see it happening. How's that sound?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it certainly raises an interesting point. Sorry, Cabbage.
So yeah, I think it's probably just more of a teaser, you know. Whether they actually do a second Diagon Alley, I don't know. You'd hope so, because it would be cool to have both sides of the street if you like that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. Or even just to extend, you know.
Or even if they were, like, it just seems like a weird one. If it's going to be like we're only going to do this one side of the street, okay, let's leave out Gringotts.
Seems like a bit of an odd omission, doesn't it? You know, during and like I say, I don't know a whole lot about Harry Potter, but I know about that. I know that played a pretty major part.
Yeah, major part, and then also too, you look at the over the years, the number of police sets with banks or robbers and things like that, and sort of like, well, it's obviously a play feature that works well. And
that is true. Yeah. But do we need another police station? Let's be honest. That was what they were talking about, potentially the modular being a police station, weren't they?
Oh, really?
I've heard differently, but I've also heard the rumor that it was going to be a police station.
But I mean, it's the sort of thing like, how many sand speeders do we get? How many X-Wings do we get? Like, it's almost like there's just certain builds and sets that are just like perennial, like you're always going to get them. And I think even in the Technic line, it's almost becoming like the Porsche. Like that's becoming like the thing. You've had the supercar version of it. You've got the smaller version. It's now coming as kind of like the de facto for the Mindstorms. It's like
it's quite interesting that I actually find that quite interesting that Mindstorms Porsche.
I'm quite interested by that.
Yeah,
it depends how much it is.
Yeah. If it's a Mindstorm's price all over again, then it's too much.
Yeah, it's probably going to be 300 on plus, isn't it?
I really want to get into the whole Mindstorm thing, but I don't know anything about it. So
no, I've never. The only Mindstorm set I've got is an R2D2, but I haven't got. And it's old though. It doesn't connect to your phone or anything. It's got CD-ROM with it. That's how old it is. Are they things anymore? CD-ROMs? I don't know. But yeah, that's how old that is. But it still runs, but you just can't program it.
You can't do anything with it. Oh.
No, he just goes around and scares the dog,
That's the problem with Lego, Is it, the whole technology side with Lego. I mean, talking about hidden side just before there. I'm a huge fan of hidden side stuff, but are they pulling it purely because the whole technology side is not working with it, and therefore it's a dead theme because of that, or should they have carried it on without the technology side? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it had some potential. Some of the sets were really nice. Like the school bus is nice. Yeah. The couple of the shops and things are quite nice, And the train.
The other ones as well. The school and the castle. Some great pieces in those sets. For the mock builders and all that as well.
But they just seem to kind of go, "No, it's not working." And then we'll concentrate on Monkey Kid or whatever it's called,
Yeah, I think it's quite sad. It's quite sad to see its demise.
Yeah. But then the set's going cheap, so it's not that, it's win-win.
I've literally I've just bought the rest of the sets that I need to complete the
Have you?
load. Yeah, they were selling them for 30% off here, so I thought I needed about 7, I think it was. So I jumped on them. It cost me a couple $100.
What's your favourite one? Do you think school or the bus?
Actually, to display, I like the lighthouse and the little shrimp boat together. I had them both sitting on a shelf for ages, and I thought they just looked. I don't even have them sitting there with all the monster bits open or anything like that. I just thought they looked great together, those two sets. But I like the castle. I do like that. I like the. There's a lot of sort of those older sort of castle style elements that you can get, new now, which, there's not that many castles for ages. And it's a classic sort of castle build as well, how it's just built around in a circle and you can open it up, Just reminds me of those old 80s castles. I really like it. I really like
that sort of clamshell type fundamental design. Yeah.
So I'd love them to bring back castle sets, but
Yep.
whether they ever will, we don't know.
That's certainly the closest we've come in a long time, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think there's still a market there.
I reckon.
You know.
It's almost like you've always had with the castle some sort of backdoor way into it. Like, you've had a castle on the hidden side. You had, I think when they did the Lord of the Rings, it was one of those sorts of ones. Okay, it's not your traditional.
Nixo Knights is another one as well.
Yeah,
I suppose they had some pieces. You know. Lego movie stuff as well. They had some decent castle pieces from the first Lego movie, if I remember.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to think of the second one. It's like, no.
The second one was the Statue of Liberty set that I wanted the most.
Yeah,
The
that was,
Luxembourg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got it?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. That's
managed to
they
pick it
ended
up.
up on clearance here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I jumped on
It was
it.
only on the shelf for 9 months. They released it in, what was it, March of last year, and then basically they did the Black Friday and discounted it, and it was gone.
Did you guys have a really strange release for that movie though? Like, it was released over here that VIPs could go and see it a month before, or not Lego VIPs, but people could just sign up and go and see it at some sort of early release a month before it was actually released. So anyone who cared about seeing the movie had already seen it. So by the time it came out, there was no hype around it.
Oh, no.
So yeah, that's why all the sets sort of came and went, and people were able to pick them up for next to nothing because there was absolutely zero hype around the movie.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I mean, now that you mention it, I don't know where it's a Mandela effect where I'm trying to say, but I thought there was something weird in terms of the way it was released. Like, you could, I think it was still mostly in the dark age at that point, so that's why I was just paying attention more from a film point of view. But then also too, like, I think it's one of those things. The first film did so well, and then you'd start to get to the point where you then had the Lego Batman film, the Lego Ninjago film. I'm thinking I'm missing one out, but they were exponentially. Well, not exponentially, but they're dropping off in terms of how much money they're making. So by the time you got to the second one, and the story was, I thought elements of it were quite good, but then there was other parts that's like, eh.
I thought the movies really tapered off in their production. Like, you had the Lego movie, everything was made out of Lego in the Lego movie. Then in the Batman movie, a lot of it was, but some of the background stuff wasn't. And then in the Ninjago movie, it was really only the sort of the main characters and vehicles, etc., that were made out, and then the whole background was graphic. So I just think that they kind of lost the plot. If they'd kept it all, I'm sure there's probably costs involved, but if they kept it all completely Lego like the original Lego movie, I think those other movies would have done a bit better, and maybe that momentum would have kept going. But I think it just tapered off big time with that Ninjago movie. That just flopped, didn't it?
Yeah, I can't even remember what even happens in that. That's how.
No, I remember the beginning, and the beginning was great. That opening scene with all the mechs and the cat coming in with the, with the laser and all that sort of stuff. That was really, that was really captivating. But then, after that, I couldn't tell you what happened. I honestly couldn't.
Yeah, because that was a bit of a surprise, wasn't it?
Exactly, it was the whole, because they were fighting over the weapon, and then all of a sudden this cat came out.
Yeah, that's right.
It was actually a really brilliant part of the movie, but then they went on that big quest afterwards, and it was just pretty boring.
I've done my little McLaren. It is rather cool, actually.
Can we just? I'll come back to that in 1 second if you don't mind, just holding that thought. Just adding in somebody from Western Australia. Sounds like it recovered from Steve's stream. It's always great to have him. Adora build. How are you going?
Yeah, good. How are you going, Matt?
Yeah, good. Great to catch up again. Have you in? So, what are you just going to be finishing off? You're just sorting or just having a general chat?
I accidentally knocked my little Lego Movie 2 off the shelf the other day, so that needs a few repairs, which is quite timely because I was just listening to the conversation about Lego Movie 2.
That's a great set. That's got some cool parts in it, that set.
Yeah, I really like this. This one and the pop-up party bus were probably my two favourites.
I agree. The party bus, I really like that set as well.
Yeah.
I quite like the ice cream truck. But,
the
one.
the one. The ice
Changes.
cream.
The on the first movie where
Was that the first movie? Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I got
Yeah.
mixed up. I just remember there being an ice cream truck that turned into a robot of some description.
It was a plane, wasn't it? Some sort of
It was
flying
a plane.
thing?
I thought it was.
Yeah.
It was quite crazy, wasn't it?
It was. There were some great sets from that first movie, though. The sea cow, the big sort of ship, and Benny's spaceship as well. That was
and you had
set.
the pirate's mech, didn't you? What's his name? Is it? Oh, what was the
Metal
pirate?
Beard.
Was that
Metal Beard.
Yeah, didn't he have a metal beard's like robot?
Yeah, the steampunk thing, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
there were
interesting.
some great sets. Some great
Matt's
sets.
just put up a comment. The Lego Movie 2 sets aimed at kids with bad builds. I don't know. Like, I mean, for me, that Welcome to Apocalypseburg, I think, was my favorite build of last year. And there was another, I think it was the 4x4, which managed to pick up, because it originally came out like 45, 50 pounds, and then it went on sale and picked it up for like 15. I think we got 3 of them, because it's sort of like, those would be great for kids' birthday parties. You know, we can just give them away to other people, and then we got locked down, and that was the end of that. So, but what did you guys think of the Lego 2 movie set builds?
I really enjoyed them. That Rexcelsior was a really cool build. The big fist ship.
Yeah.
I actually really, I've got quite a few of those Lego Movie 2 sets. Apocalypseburg was brilliant to build. I've only just recently pulled that apart. But
Like, serious money that does now, doesn't it?
yeah, I had it on display for so long, and it just got covered in dust. And I was like, right, it's time to clean this. And then it fell apart while I was cleaning it. So I was like, it can be bagged up and rebuilt. I'll enjoy that again another day. Yeah,
because the nice thing I found with Apocalypseburg is that it works from pretty much all 360 degrees. And as you're building it, there's nothing which is ever repetitive. Like, it's really different throughout. And then just the fact you've got a Statue of Liberty, which is sideways. Like, it's just like...
there's little touches in it as well. That little sticker that's up on the head of the Statue of Liberty, the Planet of the Apes reference up there that's in it as well. Isn't there a sticker with a Planet of the Apes reference on the head of the Statue
Possibly.
of Liberty?
It could have gone over my head, because I know when I was doing it, I was fighting with the kids to get it
done.
Oh,
yeah, no, really cool. Yeah. No, I like that set.
And the minifigures in that set were awesome.
Yeah, heaps as well. It was like 20-odd minifigs, I think.
I thought it was about 12 or so, but they're all like, Batman with weird armor and Green Lantern with weird armor. A Harley Quinn one as well. And yeah.
There was a bizarre tank with dinosaurs, wasn't there, as well? They did. I think from the second movie. Was it like a little...
That was the Rexplorer.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
It had little raptors with things on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was random.
Yeah, they were piloting it. They were
driving it.
Right. Yeah. Really strange. Some absolutely whack stuff. It's brilliant. Absolutely whack.
Yeah, so and it's interesting because when I was listening to Steve earlier, they had an interesting question there, and it's sort of like, what cartoons would do well as Lego sets?
Thundercats.
Thundercats? Yeah.
Yeah. He-Man. I know Mega Bloks for that, though, aren't they?
He-Man would be brilliant.
Yeah. But don't Mega Bloks, or just whatever they're called, have that. Possibly.
Yes, one of the other. Because you occasionally see it pop up. It's like, oh, Castle Grayskull. It's one of the other brands.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
What else you got? Have they ever done Transformers?
It's done by Creo or something, I think, and because Creo is owned by, I want to say, Hasbro, which is the parent company of Transformers.
Okay.
I think there's something weird like that. Like, it's almost like there's the chance of it ever being done in Lego is so far remote.
See, that would be calling out for it, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, there's a cool Instagram account which I follow, and the guy, all he does is does Transformer builds in Lego, and he sells instructions for them.
I've seen that. Yeah,
and they're really cool.
Pretty cool. Some of the stuff he does is pretty cool.
Yeah, so you probably know. But the one which he doesn't sell instructions for is Devastator, because he has them like you can actually do them as the 6 little parts, and then they all form the proper one.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think He-Man would be popular, wouldn't it? Also, the Batman animated series from the 90s. Is it the early 90s? There was an animated series that was really cool. He had a really cool Batmobile. I know that.
Well, there's somebody else I follow on Instagram. Is it Let's Fly Lego or something like that? And he does all the different Batmobiles and things like that. Like there's actually an animated one. It's probably unrebrickable. You get the instructions for it.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, the Batwing came out of the back of it. So you pulled the back of it, and then the Batwing was in there. So I had the toy as a kid. So it was like a 1950s kind of car. It was really long at the front and small cockpit, and you pulled the back, and the Batwing come out of it.
Interesting.
See, that'd be quite a cool set if anyone could pull that off. But
yeah. Anyone got the new Batwing? Anyone like it?
I haven't got it. No, it's on my list.
Yeah. I haven't got it. I haven't got it yet either, but it does look cool.
Yeah, it looks really nice, doesn't it?
It's like it didn't have a good gift with purchase. Well, it didn't have any, so it's like okay, it's not.
Oh.
Although having said that, then I started watching some people building it, and it is really quite flat. It's like put a whole bunch of Technic pieces together, and then put a cockpit and some wings on it, and you're done. And it's like, that might not be the most interesting build.
They've probably concentrated a lot on trying to get it, so they can hang it on a wall, and because I think that's probably the major thing about it. I wouldn't mind having it just so I can fill up some wall space. It'd be good, rather than having to get shelves for everything. But one day, it's not high on my priority list, I must say. But I'll wait for a decent sale, see if I can find it on a good sale.
Well, that's the thing, because it's the D2C. Like even the Batmobile, it only just went on sale like a week or two ago. Otherwise, it'd been holding at the same price.
They just keep bringing out these big sets all the time, don't they? That's the problem. One after another, and it's like, come on! I know it's awesome, but
what's your money?
Us addicts need a break.
Yeah, that's right. Credit card needs a rest.
Yeah.
You're all in.
Surely they've got to take some sort of responsibility here.
Yeah, the Batman animated adventures. I'm sure that's the one.
Yeah. Steve, yes, the giant fish, that ship. Yeah, that's the Rexcelsior. Absolutely love that ship.
There's so many crossovers they could do, but it's getting the licenses, isn't it, and all that.
Yeah.
Stuff, But there's so many cartoons and films and even the plus 18 stuff they could do, but they don't associate themselves with stuff like that, do they? So,
what do you reckon? Sorry, I was going to say, what do you reckon they'll do next year with the? Do you think that we'll get another big car like we have with the Ecto and the Batmobile? Do you think we'll get something else?
DeLorean.
And we'll bring in. Great to have along as well, Mr. Steve Reynolds. How are you going?
Hey guys, yeah, good.
Hello.
Hey, Steve.
I thought I'd come in. I've been typing comments. I thought I might as well jump in and say hello. How you going?
How's it going?
Yeah, great. It's funny watching your stream earlier, and then once you start getting into the 80s nostalgia and everything like that, it's like, oh man, I haven't thought of that since the 80s. It's like, wow.
Yeah, talking to people in their 40s, it's going to happen. 30s and 40s, we're going to be talking 80s and 90s toys. It happens. TV shows. I pretty much just managed to get out of the green room. Now it just kept going and going and going. What happens in the green room stays in the green room, isn't that right, Ruth?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
some very interesting chats in the green room tonight.
Yeah.
So does that mean when we end this stream, we can then talk about your green room that you're hinting at?
Well, it's a green room, so we can talk about another green room. I think we can do that.
Okay, the stream's about. It must go on this bit now.
I'm jumping in just before the end. So we had a good stream. It was good. we had some great comments in the chat and some guidance. It was good to have a fellow presenter in the chat that could get us back on target with some questions. I think some good questions, right? Good time questions. So,
Yeah, some of the people have to go back and at some stage. Hopefully, if Doc does a summary, which I don't think so, who knows? But yeah, some of the ways that people got fired was quite interesting. But yeah, good stories there.
yeah, I should have led with mine because it actually sunk like a lead balloon at the end. There was some quality. Yeah, there was some quality ones there.
There's some good ones. I mean, even yours was good, but it's just once I asked the question came up, and then people started going and talking about it, it's like, oh wow, this is really funny.
Yeah, it's the randomness of a Lego stream. Sometimes it just can go wild, can't it?
It's just the directions it can go. So yeah. Sorry, we just we cut off before. Big cars next year. What do we think?
DeLorean. Do you reckon they'll do it?
You'd hope so. You'd want it. Definitely want it. But whether they will or not, I don't know. With what's involved in getting that license, and when was the last time they did anything with Back to the Future?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they do with the ideas. Okay, yes, it was much smaller, but there's certainly been there's a couple of really good fan ones out there. Is it on Brick Vault or Rebrickable?
There was going around the last couple of days, I guess, where I think it had been an ID number that they'd used in the past, so it's clearly not a real one, but it looks good. So I was thinking, we've got Knight Rider.
Yeah, Knight Rider would be the other one. That I was thinking that as that's definitely.
What about the old Jurassic Park van that goes around the
Jeep thing?
The Jeep.
The Jeep?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a cool one.
With the glass roof, and the T-Rex comes onto it and all that jazz,
True. Yeah.
We've always got that iconic 18 van as well.
Yeah,
the 18 van, and you could add some really cool stuff into the 18 van. I reckon
you could do. Yeah, you could make it turn into a tank and not be able to shoot anyone properly and stuff. Just shoots the floor.
I'm just thinking all the gold chains that are in the back or in the glove box.
The other one which I'd like to see them do at a big scale would be the 66 Batmobile. I think that would be awesome.
I reckon, that'd be great.
That's got to happen at some point for sure.
I was just thinking though, the reason they probably wouldn't do the A-Team is in every episode of the A-Team they have AK-47s, don't they?
Yeah.
And Lego will not do AK-47s, so it just won't look right because the figures have to have AK-47s.
and really, it's just a big black. Just a van, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's just a van, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a pretty old, crappy one at that. Let's be honest.
The horrible thoughts of free candy on the side. No, it doesn't work. No, we can't do that.
I pity the fool who gets in here.
Pity the fool, people.
You'd be a fool to get in here.
Knight Rider would be quite cool.
Yeah, Knight Rider would be a cool one. Even the 66 Batmobile, because I was looking for a decent one to actually build, and they haven't done nobody's done one. You've got sort of mid-size or smaller ones, but an actual larger scale one. So it was almost like if they're not going to do that, it's I'm almost tempted just to do it. And if I was going to do it, the thing I'd want to do is make sure that it could be remote controlled as well. Because if you're making that big, you can easily fit stuff in.
The another one that I thought of just then, and I've just gone blank because I saw the Dukes of Hazzard pop up.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, sorry. The Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit.
Yes.
And one more, the Blues Brothers police vehicle with what was on the top there? Was it a siren or
speaker?
Something?
Was it big speaker? Was it?
Yeah, they could do that.
There's quite a few iconic vehicles they could chuck out there.
Munsters, maybe the Munsters. They had that,
Yeah,
that vehicle.
that
Was it a hearse?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. But it was like all hot rodded up. So
Yeah.
you think Herbie, the Love Bug. Is that another one they could do? That'd be interesting with the curves, the shapes.
Yeah, Beetle would be quite a tough one to do in Lego, wouldn't it?
What about?
well, they've done the creator Beetle. Was
They
a
did,
blue
didn't they?
one.
Yeah. Yeah, they did actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Monsters
It's
one, I
gotta be-
remember. That was a
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be quite cool actually.
I think
Thunderbird
Eddie Munster,
car would be cool. That
Eddie
big
Munster
pink
in the
car.
back.
Well, Lady
The one with-
Penelope's car.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Had about 12 wheels, didn't it?
Yeah, it did have a few wheels on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18. They could just put 18 plus on it.
Oh, that has
We've
to
also watched
We got Ghost Rider's bike, as someone said, and Airwolf. I never really.
Airwolf. I was thinking
Airwolf.
that too. I was thinking, I don't know if anyone would be keen on that one, but I would be keen on Airwolf.
be Blue
Something's in
Thunder.
the car.
I always get those two, Airwolf and Blue Thunder. They're very similar, aren't they? They're the two choppers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of-
I was a big Airwolf fan. I found out on your Channel 5 over there in the UK, I found they had a few episodes on the on-demand day. I was all over it. It's like I haven't seen this in years.
I think that's another show which I remember watching as a kid, and I think if it was to go back and revisit now, you'd probably be like, yeah, what was the interest apart from a flying attack helicopter?
Oh, it's the same. It's the same helicopter getting shot down each episode as well. It's that.
It reminds me of The Simpsons when they did the. It was Knight Rider, but it was Kid was a boat, and there's always,
Night
there's always
Yeah.
Night Boat. There was always always a way to get through the water and garbage.
Yeah, and I think it was Bart's comments, like, or maybe it was Homer. It's like, oh, another episode, and there's always a fjord.
I like, Matthew, the Beverly Hillbillies car. That'd be great.
Yeah. So I think we've got about excuse me, we've got about 10 minutes to go. So, and I'm just conscious to make sure that we do sort of finish on time, so that we can give Tree of Ore Productions. He's up next, so make sure you check that out, and we can delve into the green room. Chat level. So I might just quickly go through everyone. If you just want to do like a 30-second bit on what you've got coming up on your channel, if you're doing anything on the 72-hour, and we'll start off with Brick Scene.
What have I got coming out? Well, I'm on Greg's stream in the morning. Morning here, be night tonight your time. Other than that, I'm working on a top 10 actually, top 10 sets of the year. That's the only other sort of video that I've got on the horizon at the moment. I'm probably going to do another live stream next week at some point too, but stay peeled for that one. I will post the details when I can figure out a time to do it. Put slots in with everyone else.
Yeah, cool, excellent. And then afterwards I try to go through with the comments and put links to other people's channels and things in there. But definitely Brick Scene. Got some great stuff seen on yours, the Ghostbusters, and even your review on the Land Rover. I think that was really, really well done. That was great.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, that's an old one now, but yeah, still seems to be my best performing video for some reason. Anyway, thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on. I really do.
Yeah, no, it's great to have everyone on, and I thank you for giving up your time for coming along and having a bit of a chat. And so moving along to Cabbage Face, what's sort of coming up with you?
I'll be on LBB's 72-hour stream part tomorrow. I think it's Saturday, his part. I think it's our time, it's 4 till 6, so I'm not sure what time that is elsewhere. 4 till 6 in the evening. I'll be live streaming on Sunday as well, just doing some builds with my stepdaughter, which is quite amusing. And other than that, that's about it, really. I also managed to build a set during that, which is the little McLaren Speed Champions. It's quite cool, actually. I like that. It's got some good details on it. Yeah, so that's about it, really.
Oh,
It's
cool.
cool the way
Seems
they
to
use
get
those
an-
shapes for the lights.
Yeah, it's very
It's
neat.
really
It's got spearheads.
Yeah.
And also on the front, they've got kind of these. I don't know what they were. They were kind of like little axes or something like that to make the lights on the front.
No,
So, yeah,
wow.
to give it a curve.
Yeah, to give
Get the
that
angle.
little
Yeah.
those little bits there. It's very neat. Some tough stickers
I
in
had
that
to-
one, though. I can tell you that.
I had to bring those wheels, those rims for one of my Lamborghinis. I did an orange Lamborghini and it was fantastic. So I just took them off the one that I had and then bricklinked them and replaced them later on. So
They sent me in my box. They sent me two bags of hubcaps. I've got like loads of hubcaps. I don't know why.
yeah, the caps, yeah, but I mean like the actual wheels, the orange wheels.
Oh, the orange wheels. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, easy enough to get on bricklink.
Yeah, it's a nice little Speed Champions one. That one. I do like these Speed Champions. I need to get some more of them. They're very good.
Yep. No,
And you get a,
excellent.
get a fan.
Lucky Solo's not here. You'll show off all of these speed champions.
No, we
Maybe
were.
they need to make his van as a set. You know, Solo's van.
So it was the next Lego Ideas set. You can see the promos for it already. He builds the van in the van anywhere. It's the van man, Solo. So cool. And we'll have Adora, who's been relatively quiet, sort of sorting some of your pieces out there.
Yeah, so I'm
She's
just
feeling guilty.
moment, but I will be part of the 72-hour stream tomorrow. So I don't know what time that's going to be for everyone. I think it's midnight in Central Time, but it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon for me. So if anyone's around and feel like stopping by, I'll be having a chat then. And there might be a few guests that are on this stream that will also be popping by for that one. And then I will also be streaming on Sunday as well, so which I think is like 1 o'clock in the morning Central American time, but 4 o'clock in the afternoon for me as well. So yeah, I've got ended up with a couple of slots this time, which is really nice.
Excellent. Great. Yeah, it's. I suppose that's the thing with us doing across, I think, 4 different time zones. It's like everyone's time. It's like, what does this mean elsewhere?
Yeah, trying to work that out. I was trying to work out just getting on today. I was trying to think whether it was 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, or 1 o'clock. I wasn't sure.
Just go to my channel. The card things up, the title card things up, so you can see what's happening.
If we subscribe to Adora, I'm sure that we'll get notification that she's gone on, and then we can see that way. Is that how we do it?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I think it's and coming along, and we have finally Mr. Steve Reynolds. What's you've obviously just had your part of the 72-hour stream. What else have you got coming up?
We have part 2.
Okay.
Directly. Yeah, no, I signed up for two slots. I had a second slot there thinking a fellow Aussie over in West Australia could take that slot, but she managed to find 2 of her own. So, so following Ruth tomorrow, I've got another 2-hour slot. So, yeah, I don't know what'll happen there. There could be some real mayhem. I don't know. Honestly, I never have any control on what's happening.
Is that going to be a PG stream, or is that a light one?
Well, I think today was the most PG we have ever had on my stream, and we still managed to talk about. Can I talk about those things?
You can't stop now.
I just love it with Steve, where you can see where he's just got self-censor mode on. It's like, normally I'd say this. I need to stop and think.
Yeah, I'm on someone else's stream here, so I've got to be mindful that I don't mention strippers, or topless sunbathers. That's the sort of thing that we talked about. It came up. It wasn't on my run sheet, but it came up. So you just run with it, Matt.
We can actually blame Matt for that. because it was Matt's question that got that whole conversation started.
Yeah, but it was an innocent one. It's just that. Yeah. Anyhow.
You should know more.
It's an open the door question, isn't it? You don't know what's going to come through. So we'll see what's having the bit. Maybe.
I think Steve doing that once you've done your drop test solo.
Yeah, maybe. What's he going to drop? Millennium Falcon?
Sort of thing, probably not. So you're safe. Well, put it this way: he won't do it on purpose. He has a tendency to drop things accidentally.
It's a talent.
And we've also had Lorraine Fox pop in. That's great to have you in. And just leaving it up for me. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing my usual draw stream, 7 p.m. London time. The last 2 hours of that actually coincide with I've got a second slot as well. So 2 hours of that will also be as part of the 72-hour stream. So for the other part, though, encourage people to just check out the 72-hour stream. Every Saturday night, I do a drawing stream where there's a suggestion on a topic and people come along in the chat and I just draw things out. So anybody's welcome to come along to that and that will be there. So hope to see people there. I'm just sort of seeing how we got it here. We've got about another 3 or 4 minutes. I'll just grab up after this is Tree of War. I'll drop their link into the chat so you can go and check them out as well. And any sort of other final comments or observations people might have?
No, thanks so much for hosting us.
Yeah, I was going to say just thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on as well.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for that, guys.
And thanks for helping out with the stream earlier. I appreciate it. So, and it was great for Miss Ruth to join as well. Thank you, Miss Ruth.
Anytime.
I told you I was going to do it. Wow.
When Ruth came on your stream, you're sort of like, oh, and being backwards in WA by hours behind, welcome, Ruth. And it's like, okay, this is a great way to start off, I guess.
Yeah. Victorians, we don't think much of the other states. We're horrible people over here in Victoria. We like to tease everyone else. We love Wait a While. Western Australia's a great place. So, Matt, you were Victorian, weren't you?
No, I'm a New South Welshman.
Oh, wow.
Occasionally might be a demented Queenslander, but yeah.
No, fair enough. I feel dirty for being here, to be honest. No. New South Wales is good. That's the home of the mighty Sydney Swans. So I love my Swans.
Yeah, definitely. Bandwagon. When they're doing well, of course, they're a fantastic team.
Well, they did finish third bottom, but thick and thin.
That's Aussie rules football for anyone who's not aware. I think we're just going to wrap this up now. Thanks very much for everyone for coming on. Always appreciate that. It's great to catch up with people. I was thinking potentially maybe doing this slot again, maybe once a month or something like that, if people are interested. Because always great to catch up with Kiwis and that, and do the whole East meets West thing. Do the usual sort of thing. If you've enjoyed this, can you hit the thumbs up button there? And I think that's pretty much us all done. Yep, been 2 hours. Always great to be on and chatting with people and things like that. Definitely, if you can, check the other people out here and the other channels and things. And we will talk to you later on. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Good night.